I am Geoffrey Armfist in World of Tanks. One of the things I'd like to discuss today is why we have no advances or no clan gameplay below tier 10. It's only possible to join with clan mates and platoons. You cannot play advances or anything. And the game is very much geared towards playing heavy tanks at tier 10, basically. That's what it is, heavy tanks and mediums. And part of the thing about the free sixth sense is that people get pushed towards tier 10 quickly. And so I would have liked to be able to play with teammates, with clanmates at lower tiers, but it's not possible. One possibility would have been to at the very least, have the possibility to play with other people who are the same skill level, even if the enemy teams are mixed or different skill levels or whatever. I don't really mind, at least as long as my own team is the same skill level as I am, since I cannot control all tanks. So that will give some ability for some tactical gameplay, which is missing from the game. In any case, so I'm playing a heavy tank. I've succumbed to the pressure to play heavy tanks. And this is one that I got during holiday ops. It's the KV-1, but kind of playing for Germany, so it's a captured KV-1 basically. Okay, so I put this fancy camel that we got for completing some missions or something just before holiday ops, with some of those weird Warhammer sort of events. So this guy is asking me to get out of his way quite clearly. So we already have a little bit of a problem here. So I can tell something about the quality of my players. So I have a higher tier, bigger tank. Get out of my way. I have to go there, go somewhere else. And to be honest, +2 matchmaking, I'm 2 tiers. I'm bottom tier. So I'm not really sure what to do. In this tank, I'm used to play as a sniper, so I'm thinking I can knock down some trees and find some bushes, because I definitely cannot take on those guys at the front who are top tier with my gun, and they're going to go hold down, they'll be impenetrable. So my only option is that someone rushes me, really. It's the only chance I might do something good, unless I have some opportunities to snipe. And being used to sniping, I'm thinking about it. Maybe I can sneak in a sniping shot. And one thing about sniping tanks, like tank destroyers, they were really employed by the Germans mainly during the war in Russia and the steppes, because there was a lot of distance. So they started being employed around 1940 or 41, wherever it was, and then until about 1944. The last one was the Panther. And there was a young tiger or young tiger that only got a few copies made near the end of the war. These were useless because you didn't have the distance anymore. You need like a few kilometers of distance. You need a kilometer at least of distance to play, to fight in a tank like this, and in a tank destroyer. And so in this game you can really play tank destroyers up until about tier 5 and 6. So from around tier 2 to tier 6, and then after that your tank destroyers definitely don't have the distance. So here I was spotted. I was outside the bush. Now I'll give you that. How did I get spotted so easily? I'm not used to being spotted in tank destroyers, so there's also that. And so there's really not much of a point of having a tank destroyer above tier 6. I don't think so. You have to play in a heavy tank or a medium. And if you look at the performance of tank destroyers at tier 7 and above, it's not very good at all. Same is true for SPGs, of course, but tank destroyers, in a way, they are the most handicapped, also because the maps are totally made for heavy tanks. But it would give some opportunity for more diverse gameplay if we could have some competitive mode actually at tier 5 and tier 6. You know, it would make some sense playing like a tank destroyer, which is what I kind of enjoy playing at tier 5 and tier 6. Anyway, so those two guys were holding that side. The guy who was telling me to get out of his way died in the first couple of minutes. But the other two guys are holding that side. And the enemy tanks are too heavy. There's not much I can do. So I thought, since this side is losing, we only have that Type 58 on the hill. And he's been harassed by 3 or 4 guys. So I thought I'd turn my attention to this side. Maybe try to help the Type 58 a little bit. And I'm taking a couple of sniping shots. Haven't done much so far. The fate of a bottom tier heavy tank. Now I have a chance to contribute something. Auto locked. So back to my gameplay as a sniper. Okay, I took a shot there from 2 shots from the STLV. But one, I think I bounced one of those 2. That's good, being a heavy tank. One of my favorite tank destroyers, the Toaster, is auto pan. In fact, even the Su 100Y is auto pan, even by machine guns. I had a fight in a Su 100Y the other time. My entire battle melted. My entire team melted away. And then I had a bunch of Luxus machine gunning me to death. You know, I couldn't bounce anything in the tier 6 tank destroyer. So if you get spotted in a tank destroyer, you're dead quickly. But at least in a heavy tank, you can bounce a shot or 2, even one bottom tier. And I picked up this voiceover for the Sixth Sense. It's kind of more fun. It's more scary, as it should be. And to be honest, in the din of the battle, I could never, or most of the time, I could not hear the Sixth Sense. So that's one thing. So the other guys who are ignoring the Sixth Sense, I guess, they also can't hear it. You know, the new players. Now this guy, I just can't track him. I tried twice to track him. I'm going to try again to track him. No, I didn't try this time. I'm going to try. No. Where was it? No, I tried already. I tried 2 or 3 times to track him and I couldn't. Here, he made a mistake to try and go around me. I don't know why he did that. And I'm doing what I can. If I wasn't bashing all the time, I might have survived. Okay, so someone got him. Maybe the type got him. So we're down to 2 tanks. The BZ, who's holding that corner like... no, the Black Prince. Oh, the BZ is dead. That's a shame. The enemy BZ is alive. The Black Prince is doing a great job. So did the BZ on our side. They did a great job holding that corner, the 2 of them. And the Type in the middle has done a fantastic job so far. Anyone who drives a Type 58 is usually a good player. And I expect he has a very high gun marking sort of level, kind of skill level. Because only very good players play the Type 58. I don't know, I haven't tried it. It's a bit like the T-34-E5. But I think it's supposed to be not quite as good. He's making it work. And he's got that New York taxi style camo from the Holiday Ops event. So here it is. I see you. It's a T-34-E5. It's a great looking tank. So was the T-34, the original one. I think they're among the most pleasing tanks to look at from World War I. From World War II, sorry. Wrong war. And so he's now checking and trying to find the BZ. He wants to out-surprise the BZ. It's not going to be easy. So, to be on a positive note, what I was saying earlier, to go back to my proposal, is why can't we have clan-based gameplay with an entire clan, so you can go into battle with 15 clanmates, but not just in tier 10. Why can't you have that at tier 6 and tier 8 at least? But I would like to play tier 5 and tier 6 because these are the tiers that you can still play with a tank destroyer. And you cannot play with a tank destroyer at above tier 6. Tier 6, tier 7, from tier 7 onwards, my tank destroyers have 50% chance of doing well. Whereas at tier 5 and tier 6, some of them have 58% win rate or 57% win rate. So it's quite clear that, at that level and above, the view range and the concealment, which are the advantages of tank destroyer, are shared among, mediums and other types of tanks. And so there's no advantage of playing a tank destroyer that's going to handicap you by not having a turret or having a slow rotating turret. Whatever. You'd rather play a medium. Why play with a tank with a useless turret or no turret? Makes no sense. And if you look at the tomato.gg website, the performances of tanks above tier 6, tank destroyers are conspicuous by their absence in terms of win rates. Pretty useless. Anyway, so this great looking tank here is searching for an enemy, is on a mission. The enemy tank is tier higher and has more HP. So he definitely has to out-surprise. And ideally he has to, kind of spot him from the distance. He cannot engage him like in a brawl. Really, at least I wouldn't. I don't know how good this player is. And so he's searching for the guy. Obviously, he wouldn't be defending our base. That is one thing that's certain. But where is he? And I don't think he can try and go on cap because he's slow. And his base. He's definitely nowhere around here. That's assuming he's a good player. He probably is if he has survived this long. The battle is close, so he must have been a good player. There he is. Yeah. But the type 58 player was definitely the best player in the two teams. Nice to be in the same battle with him and an opportunity to play in my heavy tank. So here is the score. Finished various missions. Got Bruiser and what was the other, Fair Fighter or whatever. Was second on my team. It was quite surprising, considering I was bottom tier. And the type 58 was the best player in our team. So that was for me this time around, and with some suggestions, proposals, and ideas, and some thoughts about why is it not really useful to play with a tank destroyer above tier 6 while one's wasting their time. Much better to play in a heavy tank or a medium. Thank you for watching.